Hi, welcome back. So there are a lot of functions in a lot of libraries hanging out in C's standard libraries. So how do you know what a function does? Well, thankfully, if you're on a Unix-like system, Linux or Mac OS X, for example, you have the man function, the manual command. So running man is pretty simple. We just type man. Now we can get the manual instructions by typing man. And this will give us the command and a synopsis and a description and a lot of different information. Now there are several different chapters or sections of the manual pages. We can get out of this by typing Q, by the way. And all of the C manual functions are contained in Unit 3 or Section 3. So if we wanted to know, for example, some information about the printf function, we can type man 3 for the section, the C language section, and then printf. And it will give us the information for printf in Section 3. There are a bunch of functions in the printf library or printf specification. It is in the standard C library, and it says here that in order to use this function we must include stdio.h, just as we've done so far at the top of all of our source files. So it tells us printf and then a constant char star restrict format and then ... Alright, so what does all of that mean? Well, we can read, and you should read, the description in this man page. By the way, if you don't have man on your system, you can Google this information. You could just say C printf and search for that on the internet, and it's all out there. But, for instance, if we wanted to know something about the format type characters in printf, we could see that in order to get back, for example, a unsigned long, we would use L and tell it that it was unsigned, U. So LU would give us back a formatted unsigned long, and we're going to see how to do that here, why we might want to do that here as we look at the next piece of source code. So we'll quit to get out of this. I would really highly suggest that you read about the printf function, either by typing man3 printf and reading the manual documentation, or searching printf on the internet. So now, here we go. We have a main function again. We've included standardio.h. By the way, this is the syntax in C for a single line comment, 2 slashes, and then whatever we want to comment. Print the number of bytes used by a C primitive type. So here's our main function, and all we're doing here is doing a printf, and then notice this. This is a format specifier, %LU, and this will be replaced by whatever we place out here in the following parameter list. So notice that I've typed char, a colon, a space, %LU, and then a new line, and I've given it size of char. So I want to know how many bytes a character is. So I get that as an unsigned integer, and it will be replaced in this string into the position occupied by this %LU, long unsigned. I get the size of a short, an int, a long, a float, a double, and a long double. What do I want to know from this program? I want to know how many bytes is occupied by a char, a short, an int, a long, a float, a double, and a long double. So this should do what I need it to do. Let's check it out. In the terminal, I'm going to make types, which is the name of the program, and it's up to date, and then I'm just going to execute it. Types. So we find out here that a char is 1 byte, a short is 2 bytes, which we already knew. An int, notice, is 4 bytes. So that will be 4 times 8 is 32. 2 to the 32 minus 1 for the maximum unsigned int, and 2 to the 31st, negative 2 to the 31st through 2 to the 31st minus 1 for a signed int. A long is 8. Notice here that a long is at least as large as a long, but in this case a long is also 8. A float is 4 bytes, a double is 8 bytes, and a long double is very big indeed, a 16-byte number. All right, so that is how we find out how many bytes are in each of these types, by using the size of function and then passing it back into a formatted long integer in a printf string.